Welcome to G-Man Gaming and Reviews. So today's video is going to be all about Raider Power Armor. Specifically, should you actually use Raider Power Armor? Now, before I actually get to my conclusion, I'm just going to go through the pros and cons of the two different types of suits, which are basically the T45 and the Raider Power Armor. Now, we've got a suit of T45 Power Armor here in military paint, and here we have a Raider Power Armor. Now, you start with a suit of T45 Power Armor very early on in the game, right? So you're going to get access to one of these bad boys very early on. And the T45 is actually a really good suit of armor for the early to mid game. It, like, when it's fully upgraded, like for instance, if I go into, say, Torso, which we have at D, at model D, it gives 260 damage resistance, 190 energy resistance, 300 radiation resistance, got a health of 380. If I go down to model F, it goes up substantially, or by about 20 per model. So in comparison to the very base model, there's a significantly higher amount of protection as you go up to the higher ranks, to the higher level of mods. But these also require like 1 rank in science and like 4 ranks in armor, right? So the point is, the T45 is actually a pretty good suit of armor. One thing that's really good about it is that it mainly only requires steel to fix, which actually makes it very, very economical to keep repaired, even at the early levels in the game when you're going to be using this suit, right? So the T45 is a really good early to mid game suit. It's available for from a very early level. Very early on, you're not really going to have access to too many power armor frames. So as you can see here, I'm at level 50 and I only have 4 power armor frames in total. I think I've only bought one of them and the others I've found. So early on, you're really only going to have access to 1 power armor frame. So you're not going to be able to give a suit of power armor to any of your companions. Later on, that is definitely something that you want to do. But early on, it's just not really an option for you. Right, because you're not going to have the money to buy a power armor frame, and you're not going to have the parts either. So, let's talk about the Raider Power Armor set now. So, the Raider Power Armor set, in terms of, it doesn't really have that much in terms of upgrades. Really, if you go into, say, the Torso, you've got welded plate and standard plate, right? So it doesn't really... one good thing about the Raider Power Armor, though, one really good thing about it is that it doesn't require much in terms of materials in order to upgrade, which is something that is very useful for it. It also has access to some unique mods, like welded rebar is a unique mod for Raider Power Armor. For the gauntlets, for the left arm and the right arm, you have a unique mod of Rusty Knuckles, which I don't think you can actually access in other suits of power armor, like the T45s and the XO1s. So that's one thing that's really good about it. There's also this unique right arm called Tessa's Fist, which actually has quadruple the durability. So if we have a look here, Tessa's Fist has a health of 250, whereas the left arm only has a health of 100. So Tessa's Fist actually has considerably more durability. Now, Tessa's Fist can be taken from what's called the Quincy Ruins, which are down here. Now, so you actually have to, if you actually come here, you will actually have to fight 3 people in power armor in Raider power armor with some weapons. So it is a tough fight if you are very early on, and you will fight Tessa, who will get you access to Tessa's Fist, which is a unique. Now you can attach Tessa's Fist to another power frame with other armor, but there really is no reason to do so. So basically, Raider power armor is lower in stats than every single other suit of power armor, and really the only benefit of it is that and now the thing about Raider power armor is that it doesn't require significantly less resources to repair than the T45, based on my experience. Both the T45 and the Raider power armor require steel to repair. So really, for all intents and purposes, my conclusion is there's really no reason why you would ever use Raider power armor. The only reason that I could see that you would use it if you were lucky enough to get access to an earlier power armor frame early on, and you don't have access to any other T45 armor. But the thing is, the parts for the T45 are also available from from level 1 at the same level as the Raider power armor parts are available. So the reality is you can get your hands with the T45 power armor parts from the same level as you can Raider power armor. Now you can say that Raider power armor parts in some areas are more readily available because you'll encounter raiders that have them. It's very I don't think it's very rare to encounter somebody in a suit of power armor that's not a Raider power armor unless you're fighting against the Brotherhood or something like that. I have no idea where I got my power armor parts from, by the way, off the top of my head. But so really, for all intents and purposes, there's absolutely no reason to use the Raider power armor if you have access to the T45. The T45 power armor is better in every single way. Like I said, it doesn't have access to the rust. Oh, it does. It has access to the Rusty Knuckles and Blacksmith 2. Let's have a look here for a second.
Never thought a reporter could consider themselves a success until someone threatened their life.
Let's have a look.
Me? I'm very successful.
Okay, one advantage that I just found out now is that it only requires a 1 rank in Blacksmith in order to... So I think what actually happens here is that it requires less ranks in the skills in order to get access to the upgrade, the mods, but which is, I suppose, an advantage. But like I said, for all intents and purposes, you're almost never going to use Raider power armor. Now, before you go, now some people will say later on, well, the T51 replaces the T45. That's true, but the T51 and the T60 are only available at higher levels normally, right? At more difficult locations, or we've got like a rad storm. So the reason why the conclusion I have for the Raider power armor is that it's not good is simply put because of the level that it's available. Both the T45 and the T50 and the Raider power armor are available at the same level. You start with a suit of T45 power armor. If you absolutely need more power armor parts, if you go down here to the Adam's Cat Garage, a character called Rowdy will sell you Raider power armor parts as well as the other power armor parts, and she also sells power armor frames. Cleo from Good Neighbor, I believe, also sells power armor frames. So the reality is that, like I said, even with Tessa's Fist, I don't really see any reason to rock Raider power armor unless you just can't get access to T45 parts. Apart from that, there's really no reason to use it. The T45 is a straight upgrade. There's no reason to use Raider power armor if you have access to T45. And they're both available at the same level, which is where the problem lies. Maybe what they should have done is they should have started you off with a suit of Raider power armor first, before you got access to the T45 later. That would have made sense. I get from a lore perspective it didn't make sense because you're starting Fallout 4 and you're accessing the Crash Vertibird on top of Concord, which obviously would be a military suit and not a suit of Raider power armor, which is made after the Great War. But really, there's no real reason to ever use the Raider power armor. Tessa's Fist is, you know, it's interesting that you have a unique power armor mod for Raider power armor, but the fact that you have to go almost down to the other side of the map to get access to it, I think was done really badly. I think they should have made it available early on to really give you a use for it, because by the time you find Tessa's Fist, you're not using Raider power armor. Chances are you've moved on to that point to either the T51 or the T60. Alright, this was G-Man's Gaming. This was G-Man's Gaming and Reviews signing off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who subscribed. I just got up to 300 subscribers, so I'm really happy about that. Hopefully I'm on my way to getting to that lucky 500 subscribers to get partially monetized, so that's going to be good. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos. Thank you to everyone who comments on my videos. I love the feedback. So this was G-Man Gaming Reviews. I'd love to hear your comments on what you'd like me to do a video on next. What are your favorite things about the T45 and the Raider power? Do you disagree with me on the Raider power arm? Disagreements are totally valid. So that's just my opinion. So this was G-Man Gaming and Reviews signing off.